The question buzzing throughout the golf world tonight is not will he play, but can he win? Tiger Woods confirming today that he hopes to be on the course in Augusta for Thursday's start of the Masters, just 14 months after his near-fatal crash, one that many said was the end of his career. The five-time Masters champ was out on the course in Augusta again today, practicing for one of the greatest returns in pro sports.
As of right now, I feel like I am going to play. As of right now, I'm going to play 9 more holes tomorrow. My recovery has been good. I've been very excited about how I've recovered each and every day, and that's been the challenge.
It is a complete change in the narrative from a few months ago and pretty severe injuries. Joining me now is Dr. Rand McClain. He is the owner and CEO of Regenerative Sports Medicine in Los Angeles. Thanks for being here tonight. So this accident really was severe. It nearly resulted in a leg amputation. Doctors didn't know if he'd be even able to walk again.
Well, a lot of things could have gone wrong, but fortunately they didn't. They were able to set the bone. It was a pretty severe fracture. Fractures plural. We use the fancy word comminuted and compound, meaning they broke into many pieces and actually extruded from the skin. But the dangerous parts, he was able to hurdle. You know, there could have been damage to the nerves and the blood vessels, but he got through that, and I think his chances are very, very good.
Wow. What kind of work did he have to do to get in shape to play in the Masters? I mean, people were astonished that he was playing at all, let alone now at the Masters.
It's true. It's not an easy injury to overlook, but the hardest part was being in bed rest for 3 months. He didn't get to do much of anything for the first 3 months. And then he had to slowly start back to, you know, his usual regimen, which is obviously to win, not just show up. So, yeah, it's been a long 14 months, but it looks like, based on, you know, his early rounds here, the practice rounds, he's ready to play.
He's someone who knows how to make a comeback, that's for sure. So is there a threshold as a doctor as to when you advise someone to get back into a competitive sport or golf and something as serious as the Masters?
You know, not to dodge the question, really, there isn't a particular average threshold. It's so individual. You have to take into account who he is, and he's certainly a champion. He's got the will and the regimen to come back. And you also have to look at the specifics of you know, the injury and how he's coming back, really, literally day by day.
Yeah, do you think that his mental fortitude and his determination over the years and his golf game from such a young age helped in this physical recovery?
Of course. I mean, that gives me goosebumps. I mean, this guy's a champion through and through, and that's what got him here, his discipline, his tenacity, and that's what's carried him back to be able to play. I mean, think about it. He's already had one great comeback. He's making another one here, and, you know, remains to be seen how well he'll do, but you know, he's not showing up just to show up. He's coming back to win.
Yeah, and when you watch him, does it seem to you like he's in pain? Can you tell he had a severe accident?
I can't tell. I mean, you know, you're not going to be 100%, but when are you ever 100%? There's changes that occur throughout your life and your body that happen quite naturally, not through an accident, that you compensate for. He's had to make some pretty quick changes over 14 months because of his accident, but any athlete, any true champion like Tiger has obviously found a way to compensate, and I think he's got a great chance to do really well here, if not win it.
And you talk about his age, and he talked about his age and how it's more difficult to recover at an older age, that it's hard for him even to walk. Is that a factor in this recovery?
Well, I can say, because I got him by quite a few years. Yeah, there's definitely a component that comes with age, and that's something you can't erase. But, you know, every athlete is dealing with that as age progresses. And, yeah, it does affect the recovery. You know, as a 20-year-old, you can bounce back so much more quickly than in, say, double that. And you know, you just have to play your cards properly. So you have to give yourself perhaps another rest day, but it still can be done. It's just managing, you know, the injury and well, everything. The eating, sleeping right, training right, just doing it with different, you know, factors involved.
All right, Dr. McClain, thank you. We appreciate your insight tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.